Yo, welcome back to another.
Hey guys,
Oh
welcome
shit,
back to another NL Fantasy Fanatics podcast. We're here with special guest Will Grady. How are you today, Will?
not too bad by yourself.
Yeah, pretty good. So let's go
That's
through the
good, mate.
team list here.
Yeah, right.
So on the first side, you got Dolphins versus Eagles, and yeah, there's not much to really take away from this side. As you just see, Tessie New out with Herbie Farnworth back and Jesse Bromwich back.
Yeah.
How do you think this results in minutes for Max Plath?
I mean, I think Max Path will still be able. He can still average around the 50 mark, but yeah, no, I reckon his minutes will drop, and he'll probably will play a little, like a few less minutes, but I still reckon he can average around 50.
Yeah, I agree. And out of this side, is there any really options you're targeting right now?
Um, I know some people are keen on Isaac Katoa, but no, not personally. So no, at the moment, no, there's no one I'm targeting in that side. No.
Yeah, I agree. And moving to the other side of the ball, uh, you just see Lachlan Croker and Nathan Brown out.
Ruben Garrick, massive target.
Yeah, Ruben Garrick's a massive target. So you got Kyle Lawton starting at 9, which is interesting. And you see Corey Waddell and Ben Travojevic starting on the edge.
Yeah.
I
Um,
think. Do you think Tom Travojevic is a hold still?
yeah, no, I see Turbo, I reckon come Origin he'll be a sell, but for now he's a hold.
Personally, I don't actually think he makes Origin this year.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think so. And I think if he doesn't play Origin, he'll be close to a must-have.
Oh yeah. Well, I think Garrick at price at about 580K. I reckon he's hit some good form as well. And if you pick him up now, there's still a great chance that Turbo does play Origin. So if he does, then Garrick, he probably goes back to fullback. And then
Yeah,
we will see how Garrick goes at fullback. He's a gun.
yeah, it looks really good, but not much else here you'd be looking at, is there?
No.
Moving on to the other side, the Panthers Dogs game. Paul Alamotti is a massive target of mine with the 2 week suspension to Isaac Tango, and we just know how he can score when he's playing at Penrith.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
you see Nathan Cleary back in the 7 jersey.
that's good for me.
Yep, and still no lock, which means Isaiah Yo should be playing big minutes here.
Yeah.
Yeah, not many people have been looking to target. I think Dylan Edwards is close to a shoe in for that Origin spot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't see how they don't select Edwards. He played for the Kangaroos. He's been that top tier fullback for so many years now. I just don't see how they can't pick Edwards at least somewhere in the 17.
Yeah, I agree. Going on to the other side, so you see Jacob Carraz staying on the wing with Salmon still holding the 12 spot and Sam Hughes still on the bench.
Bronson Xerri, I reckon he's a massive buy.
Massive buy, you reckon?
Yeah, he's a gun. He's a sneaky one, I reckon. Through the
Yeah,
Origin
interesting.
period, I reckon he could be big.
Yeah, he's definitely very sneaky. I don't think he's too bad of a buy, but I think there's other options in the centres that are better than him personally.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but he's not terrible and an unchanged dog side. So do you think Salmon is still a hold with Jacob Preston on the bench?
Yeah, for this week at least, just hold and see what happens. But then, yeah, you can go from next week and what you want to do with him.
Yeah. So continuing down, so your Broncos took us through it. They look decimated with injuries. What are your
Oh,
thoughts?
mate. I know Jock Madden is on the casualty ward, is TBC for his return date, but Josh Rogers, I mean, once we find out, because we don't actually know how long Jock Madden's gonna be out for, but I reckon Josh Rogers could be a sneaky option. There's a chance he probably goal kicks, although Walsh probably goal kicks, I reckon. I don't know. But
Yeah. Do you think with Walsh goal kicking and a boost of points, is it too late to buy him already? Like with only
yeah, I
three
think
rounds till Origin?
I think it's too late because I mean, if you wanted to buy him, I think he was a buy probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. But yeah, now I think it's too late to buy Walsh
Yeah.
with Origin so close.
And would you be looking to hold Dane Mariner, who has just dropped a 5 or an 8 on the owners?
Oh, I mean, when was Dane Mariner really ever a buy? But if you have him in your side, then
Well,
yeah.
Ashton Clark's got him.
Well, Dane Mariner's I'd say as a whole definitely through Origin period as well.
Yeah, all right.
Just
Moving down.
hang on, this Broncos side like quickly like through Origin like it's gonna be tough for them because they got so many Origin stars in that team. Like Walsh is gonna play Origin. Cobbo, I think he'll be there. So will oh well, obviously Carrigan will be there. Haas will be there, and now with Reynolds out as well, like the next 10 weeks can be very tough for the Broncos.
Yeah, it looks like it. And with do you think Brendan Piacura is a hold or?
Yeah, I mean he hasn't. He's been a real disappointment for fantasy owners this year. Like he was tipped as going to be like sort of the Jacob Preston of last year, but no, I think he's a hold for now. But if he doesn't start scoring well, I think he's definitely a sell within the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. So going on the other side, you see Blaze Talangi. He gets the number one spot. Do you think he becomes a buy and could goal kick maybe?
How long is Gutho out for?
I think he's 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Well, I mean, if you have Blaze Talangi in your side already, then obviously that's good. But um, I feel like most people bought him like I don't know 4 or 5 weeks ago and then sold him. So I mean, if you want to get him back in your side, then maybe wait a week or so to see how he goes this week. But also, Mitch Moses is coming back next week, so he'll be goal kicking. So I think you could go either way with Talangi.
Yeah. Well, I have held Talangi the whole way. So I think, yeah, for me, I'm playing him this week. I think he'll score well at fullback against what could be a
Yeah.
very bad game with both teams being injury
Oh yeah.
done. Moving down, you see Ethan Sanders. He could be an interesting option, but doesn't really have the spot for much longer with Moses back next week.
Yeah.
Joey Lussick, go back to 80 minutes with no Brandon Hands and back to a 4 forward bench.
What happened to? Oh well, I mean, before I'm even gonna ask what happened to Hands, like, is he injured?
No, he just dropped in the 22 jersey.
Well, who knows with Brad Arthur? He is so inconsistent with his selections, so I'd honestly just stay away from that, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. And then moving down, do you think Ryan Madison is an option with that 12 spot?
Um. Oh yeah. Well, we all know what Ryan Madison can do, but yeah, he's a gun. He's a gun of the game. But as I said before, like who knows what Brad Arthur would do? So I reckon he's an avoid, to be honest.
Yeah, most people in this team are in a void with Brad Arthur. There's two fantasy coaches you hate, one by the name of Ricky Stewart and one by the name of Brad Arthur.
That's exactly right.
So going down with my beloved West Tigers versus the Newcastle Knights. I'll talk us through the Tigers here. So Lachlan Galvin, I think he's a safe hold. And not much else you'll be looking at in this side.
Isaiah
Interesting.
Papali'i gets the lock
Yeah,
position, eh?
I didn't realise that. Looking at team list, do you think that affects John Bateman's scoring, and does that increase Isaiah Papali'i's scoring?
Um. No, I think Papali'i's played better on the edge, but yeah, just check those stats real quick. But I don't know, really. I much prefer Isaiah Papali'i as an edge.
He doesn't
How
score.
does he do it?
He doesn't score terrible down the lock position,
Oh yeah,
or even if you go prop, scores all right.
yeah. No, I don't know. I think with Alex Seyfarth, there's also a lock. And Fanua Pole. I don't know. I don't think he gets as many minutes, obviously. So no, I don't see him as an option.
Yeah, and then what about John Bateman? Do you still think he's an option with him being on the edge?
Um, no, I don't see him as an option because who knows what Benji might do next week. Like Pavali might go back to the edge next week if things don't work out. So no, I don't see him as an option.
Yeah, and I've seen a bit of people bringing in Jake Simpkin after his good round, but I think with Appy there and with Simpkin there, they're both sells if you have them, or both avoids. Won't play 80 minutes, any of them.
Yeah.
So going down, do you see David Armstrong holds his spot? Greg Marzou has become very cheap, and are you looking at him at about 450k, knowing what he can do?
Yeah, definitely for Origin period, yes. Yeah, within the next few weeks he's on my radar, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he looks really good. Going down there, Dane Gagai holding the free spot as we fought. Jaden Brayley at 9 with Phoenix Crosland at 14. Does that worry you this week?
Yes, it does a lot. And yeah, Bradley got an early stint in the first half on the weekend and no, it definitely does worry me for personally picking up Brayley, but yeah, obviously we'll have to wait a week, see what happens this week and go from there.
Yeah. And you see Tyson Frizzell and Kai Paul listed on the bench. Do you think with Dylan Lucas listed on the bench, that's worse for Kai Paul or for Tyson Frizzell?
Um I'd say Kite Paul because Tyson Brazil, he'll be in contention for that Blues spot. So obviously for the next few weeks, I think that's not good for Kai Pearce-Paul. In the long run,
Well,
though, I think it's good for Kai Pearce-Paul because Frizzell is a good chance he plays Origin. But
yeah,
if you're head-to-head player and you're looking over the next few weeks, then I'd say Kai Pearce-Paul could become a sell. And obviously not this week, but he could. But if you're overall, I think he's a hold.
I also think that with the with um Lucas on the edge and Frizzell coming back from an injury, they could maybe put him back with 60 minutes, and that's where he gets his minutes, Dylan Lucas, and then maybe he gets dropped or moved to the centres, maybe. Because I
Yep.
think Kai Pearce-Paul's been one of their most consistent players.
Oh yeah, definitely. Thomas can't. Who the hell was that?
He can play. Moving down to the Bunny side, they're
Troy Mitchell.
decimated with injuries.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Latrell May coming back.
Oh,
Yeah,
hang on.
Hamat Shimashaki listed on the wing. What are your thoughts on this guy, Dion Tiapuka?
What happened to what's his name? Dean Hawkins.
He's out for a lengthy stint on the sideline with an injury.
Shit. No, I haven't actually looked into that guy, but I think he's playing in a South Sydney team that's yeah, not very great at the moment, so I think he's an avoid. I don't think you should even look into him, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. Going down, Davey Mawali starting a prop. Do you think that's a good? He could be an interesting buy.
Um, well, look at their bench. Tallis Duncan's he plays on the edge and can play through the middle as well. But I guess in the lock. Peter Mavazilis, he's a prop, and so is Burgess. Do you know
Peter
about Matt?
Mamazulis is the hooker.
Is he a hooker?
Yeah,
Well, I know Thomas Burgess is a prop, and do you know who Matt French is?
yeah, I think he's a prop too.
Yeah, no, I don't think David Morale is really an option.
Yeah, not much else should be looking down here. Maybe Tallis Duncan, but he'd probably wait and see his minutes.
Yeah.
Gone on the Dragon side of the ball, you don't really see much change at all. I'd really only be looking at Jaden Sewer, as of always.
Yeah.
And yeah, who would you be looking at in this team?
Um, nah, probably no one at the moment, to be honest. Zach Lomax is a sneaky one, but apart from that, no one.
Yeah, and he could definitely play Origin too. Zach
Yeah,
Lomax.
exactly.
And you see Luciano Leilua into the 21 jersey.
Yeah.
So you see the interesting parts is Suwali Falongo
Oh, yeah.
listed at the 1 jersey. What do you think on that?
Yeah, well, I think Pappenhausen out for the next 5 weeks. We all saw what he could do in the World Cup, and yeah, I think he's a great option. Pappenhausen straight to him, and that should leave you about 200K in the bank, upgrade elsewhere.
Yeah, I agree. So in the team list, it was Cam Munster at 7 and Wishart at 6. But now it's been swapped back over. But do you think with Hughes and Hughes and Pappenhausen being out, do you think that Munster has to do more with them being out?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's a lot more responsibility on Munster now. Obviously, Grant takes some of that, but I don't see obviously I don't see Munster as a buy now. After Origin, probably, but no, definitely not now. Origin too close, and we all see what Munster always tends to go big at the end of the year, and he always ranks up those big scores. So after Origin, I think he's definitely an option.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I've got him on my side.
Yeah,
Uh, Going down the list, not many forwards here I'll be looking at all. I think Joe Chan, if you own him, is a hold definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, and then going on the Shark side, do you think Daniel Atkinson is are you looking at him at all this week or not really?
Nah, how expensive is he?
270K.
How long is Braden Trindle out for?
To be confirmed.
Yeah, okay. So, well, I think because Hines there's no way they can't, what's his name, Michael Maguire can't, surely he has to select Hines in that 17 somewhere, surely.
Yeah, he has to,
I
but
mean, if
I
Hines
mean,
plays Origin, there's surely a good chance he does, and I think he is a good option, Daniel Atkinson, but I'd hate to be Michael Maguire right now. You've got so many players, so many guns, all contending for a few, the maybe three positions. You got fullback. You got Edwards, Tedesco, maybe even Drinkwater contesting for that fullback. then like in the halves, you got so many options like what Luai, Cleary, Hines, Moses. Like, yeah, I just hate to be him right now, really.
Yeah, it would be bad.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a good chance Hines gets that sixth spot. So yeah, I do think Daniel Atkinson. It's risky, but I think he's actually, yeah, he could be a sneaky one.
And he's got the dual position too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think he
Yeah,
could be a good one.
but they get a tough draw too.
Yeah,
Not many more Sharks I'm looking at. I mean, Nico Hines always a great option to bring in. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
yeah.
Moving down to the Sunday games, you see the Roosters versus the Warriors. Um, yeah, not really much I'm looking here. You see Brandon Smith still listed. Uh, do you think that it's too late to buy Angus Crichton at 710k?
No, I don't think it's too late to buy him. I think he's going to continue to make cash. Probably still got another 100k in him. Also, I don't think he makes Origin. I mean, there's probably a chance he does, but I don't see him making Origin this year. So, yeah, no, I wouldn't say it's too late.
Yeah, either would I. And what about for James Tedesco? Do you think he should be
Yeah,
there? Like,
well,
are you
I
looking to
actually
buy him?
rate that
Because
buy from you. That sneaky buy you made last week, James Tedesco, I rate that because there's actually a very good chance he misses out on Origin this year. And I mean, he has hit some good form, but like look at him at the start of the season, he was carving up. Then he had that sort of 5 week run where he's very quiet, wasn't doing anything, and then he sort of just he's hit form again as of the last 2 weeks. So you look at that versus Edwards, who's just been consistent the whole year. So if I'm Michael Maguire, I'm probably going with Edwards. So I think Tedesco could be a good option. It's
yeah,
very
and
risky though. Very
I
risky
mean,
though.
I think at 576k for Tedesco's quality, you're getting a very good player.
Yeah, exactly. It's very risky to go with Tedesco now, but yeah, if you want to go all in, then Tedesco is definitely a good option.
Yeah, I think going to the Warriors side of the ball, not really many options. I think Adam Fanua Blake personally is too overpriced. Tohu Harris is a bit inconsistent. But what are your thoughts on Sean Johnson? Is he close to a sell with his Achilles issue?
Um. Oh well, he looks like it's sort of pain management, and he's continuing to play through it. And I think he can be very good through the Origin period. So no, I don't think he's a sell.
Yeah, I still think he can put up 50s and 60s. He's an absolute
Exactly.
gun. What are your thoughts on Roger Tuivasa-Sheck? He's kind of come down a little bit.
Um. I mean, if something does happen to Chance, then he could be an option if he goes back to fullback. But in the centers, I just don't see him as a buy.
Yeah, fair enough. So down to the Titans versus Cowboys. Uh, you talk us through this one.
So Harley Smith Shields, yeah, he keeps that center role, but no, he's definitely not an option. I don't think many players are very relevant in this team at the moment. Although David Fifita, who knows with him for Origin, but yeah, what are your thoughts around Fifita? Because I don't know whether he plays Origin or not. I think he does though.
I think Dave Fafita is close to a lock. He's been unreal this year. And I
Yeah,
think if you're head-to-head focused, you can still buy David Fafita. But if you're
yeah,
overall focused, I don't think you can buy David Fafita.
yeah,
Uh,
exactly.
just a quick one. I was running some numbers, and Sam Verrills is a starter when playing 80 minutes, and there's not really any fullbacks. There's not really any hookers on the bench with
No,
Chris
there's
Randall
not.
moving to
There's
six.
Aaron Clark though.
But do you still think because they've only got the free forward bench? Do you think that Sam Verrills could be an 80-minute hooker in the bye?
Well, Aaron Clark does go through that sort of. He goes through that hooker rotation, doesn't he? And he plays through the middle as well. So I don't know. I feel like he's probably a wait. He's probably just a you can watch
Yeah, I agree.
for the next week, I reckon.
Yeah, so now talk us through the Cows game 1-2.
Um, I think Scott Drinkwater could be a very good option. Do you know how expensive he is now? He's dropped a bit of.
708k.
Yeah, so he has dropped a little bit of cash, but I mean, the Cowboys aren't playing very good footy at the moment, but I feel that this sort of Cowboys lineup on paper, like they're still a very good side, and I feel like they can make the finals and they can become a top 8 side if they get their defense together. And I don't reckon Drinkwater makes Origin, although he is in contention. So I feel like if you're looking at anyone in this team, Drinkwater could be a very sneaky option.
Yeah, I agree. And they do seem to put up a lot of points too.
Yeah, exactly. And when
So
on
it'd
his
be really
day,
interesting.
on Drinky's day, he comes out and he could even hit the 3 digits. You never know. Like he gets those 80s. He has those 80s in him, but he also does have the 20s and 30s. So it's just he's hit or miss.
Yeah, it's a bit like how would you rank him to Tedesco as a buy?
Um, I mean, Drinkwater's a lot more expensive. Tedesco is a bit more. He's a more of a consistent scorer.
Yeah,
So I feel I'd buy Tedesco before him. As a head-to-head player. If you're looking at overall and you're looking at the Origin period, then I'd probably buy Drinkwater.
yeah, I agree, and I think not really much else down here. Would you be looking to buy Cotter still if you don't have him? And what are your thoughts on Thomas McKaylee?
No, Cotter's definitely not a buy. Yeah, Origin way too close, and yeah, you should have had him in from the start of the season. And if you don't have him, then I don't really see him as a buy now. Haven't really heard too much about Thomas McKaylee. What's he like?
Oh yeah, he's a very good PPM player.
Wait, is he a prop or what?
Oh yeah, he's a prop, so he's I don't know how many minutes he gets with his bench though.
Yeah, well, Tamalolo plays through that middle as well. Sam McIntyre does as well, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, Sam McIntyre does. But he also is there to fill center and that if there's an injury.
Yeah, and Lukey plays on the edge. So, um, Jordan McLean, I don't see him making Origin. Obviously, Connor will go to Origin, but nah, I don't see. They've got two heavy, like they've got two other middles on that bench. So no, I don't see McKelly as an option.
Yeah, but at 298k, if you got the guts, he could be all right. So,
Yeah.
a few players here. What are your thoughts on Ruben Garrick? You see him kind of come back to form with that 83 and 66. Is it an interesting one bringing in Ruben Garrick? And is it a must do with that 16 break even?
Um, I think he's close to a must-have, to be honest. But like you said before, Turbo, there's a chance he doesn't make Origin. I still think there's a great chance that he does. And like with a 16 break even, he goal kicks. Manly are in some pretty good form this season. He probably also gets the fullback spot if Turbo makes Origin. Then, yeah, I think he's close to a must-have right now.
Yeah, I agree. And that 0 and 23, you really take out of the average. He is
Yeah,
absolutely killing it this year. Yeah, I
yeah,
think get him in no matter how you can. Him to Pap is a very good trade.
yeah.
As we're talking about Teddy, like he was very good on the weekend. 2 tries, just 2 line breaks and 9 tackle busts. He ran for a lot of meters too. He looked back to somewhat his best, and we know what he can do. Are you looking at Tedesco as an option? Like we've already spoken about him, but
I mean, yeah, he's a risky option, but he's definitely still a good option. Like, I mean, if you want to take the risk, you could get an 80 aimer this week, or you could get a 30. So if you're prepared to take the risk, then do it.
yeah, I agree. But I do think that he'll score you well. Just depends on Origin and that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So AJ Brimson is he a buy? Like you know what he can do down at fullback and banking this. He's gone 38, 64, 59. Is it a buy with an all right draw coming up?
Um, I mean, as a player, like, I think AJ Brimson goes all right, but fantasy wise, I've just never really ever seen him as an option, to be honest. I don't like, he's just too inconsistent for me.
Yeah, I agree. And I think he can get injured way too easily too.
Too expensive too. How expensive is he?
Yeah. 579k. So
It's
you're
probably a little
paying
bit too
more for
expensive.
Brimson than Tedesco.
Yeah, exactly. So I'd say Tedesco way before him.
Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I don't really think there's much value there either. So Jermaine Osako, you saw him come back with a few good scores of 67 and 70. 3 tries for 70. Are you interested in Jermaine at 608k?
Um, 673 is it? I find he's a little bit too expensive for me, and I think
No,
there's
608k.
208k. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I mean, there's probably other guys I'd look to first, like a Tedesco or a Garrick, but I mean the Dolphins they're pretty decimated with injuries at the moment. So to be honest, no, I wouldn't be looking at him.
Yeah. I don't know. I agree. They have an all right draw, and he could put up a lot of attacking stats, but probably not. Just too risky if you ask me. And They're around
Yeah.
14 by. Everyone can't really load up on them.
Yeah.
So if you had to rank Drinkwater, Brimson, Tedesco,
Garrick.
and Garrick and Asako, who are your top? Like, where are you ranking them?
I'd go Garrick definitely first. Then I'd probably go Tedesco.
Yeah,
Because I just think there's no way you can't have Edwards in that side. And if Edwards gets the fullback spot, Tedesco's not going to be in the side. You can't have him anywhere else. So I think I'd go Garrick, Tedesco, then probably Drinkwater,
yeah,
then Asako, then Brimson.
yeah. I agree with you, and I very much think that it's very hit or miss with Drinkwater. Like, you see what he can do: 58, 56, 81, and then back to 58. I think it just depends. Like, do you really want to run that risk with a 60 break even too?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so going on, so here's Thomas McKaylee. You've seen what he can do with that amazing PPM. Loves an offload, but he's never really shown it in his career in minutes
The minutes just aren't there for him, though.
over 40, an average of 37.6. Yeah, never really shown his PPM, has he?
No.
So yeah, I
I
think
don't see him,
it is though 9 break even at 289k. Are you looking at him at all?
Nah, I'm not looking at him.
Yeah, I don't think so. So it's safe to say Ryan Pappenhausen is a trade with that ankle injury, or is there a chance that you hold him?
No, he's out for, isn't it, minimum 5 weeks? So no,
Yeah,
he hasn't. He's nowhere near his best either. Like, we saw what he was like in 2020. He's nowhere near his best. He hasn't been scoring his best. Way too inconsistent, and he's out for 5 weeks. So he's definitely a
yeah.
sell.
He hasn't lit the world up on fire.
No.
Ethan Strange, he bounces back with a 35 after that 14. Is is Ethan a trade for you with that buy, or does that centre and half duel, does it, like, is it good to have him for the origin period?
Nah, I see him. It's gonna be very good. I reckon he can put up some big scores through the Origin period with all the clubs losing their key players through Origin, and with the centre half duel, and like, we've all had to use so many trades at the start of the year. I just think he's a hold.
Yeah, I agree. And you don't know what like other halves are going to be there because Hines could make origin in that.
Yeah, exactly.
So Salmon with Preston there, is Salmon still a hold? Like, not knowing the minutes that he could get. Like, you see what he's done this year in second row, averaging pretty well when playing there.
Yeah, no, as I said before, I think Salmon's still a hold. I'd say it's probably a hold for this week, and you can see how he scores, and then make your decision next week.
Yeah, I agree. With a 37.8 average and a 21 break even, I think so.
Yeah.
Corey Waddell, he scored you a 20 and a 39. Is Corey a sell, or is he still a hold with him still getting that edge spot?
Well, he still keeps the edge spot, so for me, I think he's a hold, and because we're also low in trades already so early in the year. I think there's definitely a lot of other guys you'd want to sell before Corey.
Yeah, I agree. And just like, he's made your money from when you probably bought him at 391k.
Yeah, exactly.
And he doesn't really miss 8 missed tackles very often, does he?
No.
And they don't have the next 2 games aren't very hard for them with injuries. So
Yeah.
do you believe that Joe Tapine is a sell? Not really getting the minutes the last couple of weeks, and he just doesn't look his self when he was keeper, does he?
Nah. Nah, he hasn't. Yeah, he in 2022, that's when we saw him peak fantasy output, but no, I don't see much in Tarpany at the moment.
Yeah, especially with Corey Horse due back soon too.
Yeah.
So you see Sam Hughes, he's come back and scored very well recently. Do you think Sam is a hold of that 9 break even?
Yeah, with the 9 break even, I think he's definitely a hold. He's on the bench this week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still see maybe he can probably still potentially make up to 50k more. But yeah, I'd say probably within the next few weeks he might become a sell.
Yeah, I agree with you. Dylan Lucas, so we already spoke about him, but do you think with him on the interchange bench, does that really affect Tyson Frizzell or Kai Paul much? And is he a sell now too?
Yeah, I think he becomes a sell. He's just way too expensive, and you can use that cash elsewhere to downgrade or upgrade. And um, I mean, I don't think it affects Kai Pierce-Paul and Tyson Frizzell too much. But nah, I definitely see Lucas as a sell.
Yeah, I agree. So Ryan Madison, like you know what he do in the second row? He's got in that second row spot again. Do you think Ryan is someone to look at to buy with Bryce Cartwright listed on the bench this week or not really?
Brad Arthur, like we said, is way too inconsistent with his selections. So, like for all we know, Hopgood might be playing 14 next week. So, no, I just think Ryan Madison's in the void, to be honest. Most of those power players are.
Yeah, I agree.
Well,
I
in the
want to
forward
know
pack
who
at
about
least.
is either Moses or Brown when Moses is back.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you think Suali Falongo is a do you think he's a buy? Like you saw what he could do with that 17 off the interchange bench when Pap got injured that game.
Yeah.
And yeah, what do you think? Like you saw two tries, two line breaks, a tackle bust. Like he's a gun player, and for that price with that 32 break even, listed a fullback for probably up to at least five, like minimum of 5 rounds. Do you think that he is a buy, or are you giving him a week to wait and see?
For me, I think he's a straight swap from Pappenhausen, really. And that gives you 200K at least to upgrade elsewhere. So, no, I think I see him as a buy this week.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a very good player, and he's done some very good stuff in reserve grade. And
Yeah,
if to put him over Meany, he wouldn't have done that if he didn't back him Craig Bellamy.
yeah.
So you see, Terrell May, he went down for 3K with that 68 that he scored for double. Do you think he's back to a sell again with him still being listed on the bench in the same rotation? Still getting
Um,
49 minutes.
I mean, after a 68 off the bench, like I just can't see you selling him this week if you've held him. Like, I see him as a hold at least for this week.
I just think I'd sell him, but just because of that, I still only got the 49 minutes, and they were missing a lot of forwards.
Yeah, that is with a double as well. I mean, you could
So
go
you
either
do
way, really.
see Connor Watson back to the bench. Do you still think Connor Watson is a buy, or is he just way too expensive for you now?
No, he's definitely way too expensive for me now. With a
Yeah,
break
look,
even of 2, though, I mean,
I don't really see him getting much higher than this.
no.
And on to the last one. We've already spoken about Isaiah Papali'i. So yeah, just my thoughts quickly on my side. The trades that I'm doing is Pappenhausen to Farlangu and Jai Grader, Ruben Garrick. What are your thoughts on those trades?
Yeah, no, I think yeah, Pappenhausen to Folonga is definitely a good one, and then Jai Gray up to Garrick, bring in 2 wing fullbacks. Can't go wrong with those players, really.
Yeah, I think that really makes my team look pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.
yeah, cheers.